This is My Hero Academia Russell Drive. Manga, anime, news, and more. Russell Drive.
Hello and welcome to episode 129 of the My Hero Academia podcast. I'm your host, Kendra, and today, it's starting to be as per usual because Banks has been joining me for the last few episodes. Benjamin Banks in the house!
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks. Yeah!
Yay, very grateful to have you on, thank you. And returning friend of the show, Joanna!
Hi, everybody. Good to be back. Second week in a row.
Woo woo! Streak! We have a new guest as well. We have Wayne, a streamer. Ooh, say hi, Wayne.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Glad to have you on. Yay. And we will have a few questions for Wayne, as well as some follow-up questions for Joanna that we forgot to ask her last time. But before that, we do have a little bit of news. First off the bat is that the composer for My Hero Academia put out an album of his best work, and it's just really cute that the cover art of it is his dog as a robot playing the guitar, and it's designed by Masami Obari. And I posted the link in the chat, but it's just very cute and odd.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do too.
I hope that there maybe is. I feel like there must be some My Hero music. Did he compose You Say Run? Because he should just have that and just that be the album.
Well, I think that, when it comes to the composers doing the work, I believe that he did do, You Say Run and Jet Set Run, but it's like you said, and the tweet says, he chose some of his best work. So as long as, Mike plus you is up there, that's all that really matters.
Yes. And he also composed some stuff for my other favorite series as well as for Joanna. Haikyuu!
Yes,
Haikyuu. Yeah, of course, yes!
Yes! Yes! That makes me happy.
Thanks. Do you watch or read Haikyuu?
No, but they keep on telling me that I need to. I'll eventually check it out. I literally just finished watching Hunter on Netflix, but it doesn't cover the Chimera arc, so now I'm gonna have to figure out where I can watch that at because it's not on Hulu either. Dude, Hunter is really good. Is it on the Funimation app?
I don't think so.
No, okay. I don't think so.
You haven't been watching it in dub, have you?
Yeah, I've been watching it in dub, yeah. I like the dub.
Yeah, I think I have the dub. I bought the DVD for part of the Chimera arc for oh my god, Hunter x Hunter. I almost said HXH.
That's one of those few series I'm just I can't do the dub.
Well, see, for me, when I'm working out at the gym, it's when I'm on the elliptical, I don't really like to read while I'm up there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in the zone. So it's unless I have to watch something sub, then I'll do it. If we're recording something on my podcast, Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, then I'll watch it sub. But for the most part, I'm watching stuff dub.
I'll get back to you. I'll check Funimation after this.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
And we have a little bit of more news that the Strongest Hero mobile game is coming out December 3rd. I have no idea what it is. It looks like it's Deku punching things.
I think it's an RPG My Hero Academia game. I believe so. Don't quote me on that. But I think that that's what it is. And if it is, I'm down for it. It's I hate the fact that there really aren't a lot of, your classic JRPG licensed anime games like there used to be back in the day. There was an Inuyasha RPG game. That's the only one I can think of right now. And I know that there were more, but I know that the Inuyasha one was one that I used to play when I was younger.
Nice. All I know is that the website for it, I'll link it maybe on Twitter, or just retweet it. It's just very, they have images of the characters and they're just very cute and very clean. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Yeah. It says that, it's gonna be, they're doing the pre-registration and it's only gonna be in the target country. So I doubt that we're gonna be getting it because it's you're looking at the pictures and everything. It's in Japanese. So, it's a possibility to get it. If not, I'm sure somebody will figure out a way to get it to the whole world like they did with Dragon Ball Online back in the day.
It's reprogram your phone.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And I make Banks do it every week, so I might as well continue the tradition. Do you want to read us the author's comment?
Sure. Like I was gonna ask anyway. All right. So this week's author comment from Horikoshi is, "Sorry for needing to take a break again. I really don't want to ... But please be patient. And just to let everybody know, the next chapter does not come out until November 19th.
Yep. I did not notice that at first.
Yeah,
or November 29th.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, 19th
Oh, yes.
this week.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry.
No
Keep this
worries.
in. It comes out November 29th, so it comes out after Thanksgiving for us here in the States, because I know Thanksgiving already happened for you guys in October. It was the end of October, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We already got our fill of turkey. Or I got mine from work, because I got free food. But we're gonna segue into some questions. Hard-hitting questions for Wayne.
The hard-hitting, hard
Yes.
to answer, difficulty level 1,000 questions.
Yes.
Season my hero academy.
Go ahead and ask you a question before you answer those questions. How do you feel about Coda?
Who, me?
Yes.
He's fine. He's doing his best. There's no reason to hate him.
I didn't even
Yeah.
Yeah.
why would you even, imply that?
Because I know you.
Yes. Poor Coda. He's ugly cute. He's trying his best. He's gonna come in and beat Gigantomachia just to fuck with Banks.
I hope so.
Okay. He does that. I'm done with My Hero Academia.
I'm done. I quit.
But now for some less hard-hitting, or I don't know, the more hard-hitting questions. What got you into My Hero?
Ooh, so I started reading back in 2016, and I really only started reading because I heard that there was an anime that was going to be for it, and I was like, oh, this will be fun to watch. Also, a fun little trivia fact, this was also when I kind of met Ben, because this is when I joined Roshi's Island over on Facebook, so a little plug right there for that. So, yeah, I started reading it, and then this is also around the time where I was just like, it'd be really fun to do. It'd be fun to do a YouTube channel. And I slowly began my start with that, and I actually kind of tied it in with when I would catch up to the series, and I think I caught up around where Bakugo got kidnapped in the forest. So I think that was right around before chapter 100, I want to say. Because I remember I was, young 4 years ago me, thinking that Bakugo was like Sasuke and would be a villain. Little did I know, little did my reading comprehension not realize the kind of character Bakugo was. So that's kind of what got me started. And then obviously I started watching the anime, and yeah.
Nice. And I guess I want to correct what I said earlier. I think I said streamer, but you're more of a YouTuber that you post videos. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yay. I'll definitely check it out because I haven't had the chance to watch any yet.
Do it, yeah. Especially, I did do today's review, so that's already up there on my YouTube channel.
Nice. Do you have a favorite character for My Hero?
Ooh, I mean, the first and obvious choice is Bakugo. But if I did, okay, so Bakugo is my favorite male character. My favorite female character, so I have to actually split this up. My favorite adult female character is Mirko, because she's awesome, and I love her design. I don't know, there's nothing that I don't like about her, if that makes sense. Yeah. But my favorite student female character is actually Uraraka.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to say Robbie.
Who?
I thought you were going to say Sue.
Nah, I mean, I like Sue. She's cool and all. But here's the thing, like, when I look at class 1A, I see a lot of people that I used to know in high school, and a lot of people that I would like talk to and be friends with. But Uraraka is the one that stands out. I'm just like, I know exactly who you would be in high school, like the type of person you would be in high school. She is the type of person that I would have had a crush on hardcore in high school. It sucked because we would be friends.
Yeah.
And I'd be in the friend zone the whole time, but it wouldn't just be that. She put me in the brother zone. And I'm just like, oh, but I just want to date you, but you're just so pure and awesome, but, so yeah, those are a list of my favorite characters.
Nice. Oh, question, do you read Vigilantes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good, because there is some good Mirko content.
There is.
Vigilantes Chapter 89 came out recently, and it was really, really good. And I don't know, Joanna, have you read Vigilantes yet?
I haven't been to start it, but I've been hearing mixed reviews, so I'm kind of hesitant. Because I feel a lot of people say either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between. So I'm just like, do I want to start it?
I think, like, the main character of Vigilantes is not, like, bad. He's just kind of, like, he's just not as interesting as some of the other characters come into Vigilantes.
Yeah. The thing with Vigilantes is it starts off really slow. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of slow. It's just like, oh, this is a neat little side story. Oh, look, there's a cameo there. There's a cameo there. Great. But it reached a certain point, I think, like, a couple months ago, or something. It reached a point where it's just like, wow, they're actually doing something really cool here. And I love what they're doing. And the best part is, it does tie into the main story of My Hero Academia. So, like, there are things in there that happen, like, I won't spoil anything, but there are tie-ins to the main story, especially with this latest chapter, with a certain hooded person coming in at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
definitely.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it, but definitely check out Vigilantes if you haven't already. It's a fun read.
It's able to, it uses, like, it does a flashbacks to characters that you love in the main series, so it adds, like, another layer that you get to see more of them, mainly, like, Eraserhead, now Mirko, and I think, some other people as well.
Well, all I was gonna say is that, I've been recommended Vigilantes, but I haven't checked it out yet, because currently I am still reading JoJo Part 6 Stone Ocean, so...
Oh, how far are you?
I just finished the chapter where they beat the girl that they were placing bets with.
Oh, okay.
For money.
I think that's farther than I am.
I mean, it's good. Like, I enjoy it. There are some people that love it, and then I can't wait to see what happens once I get to the end.
Right.
Nice. Or I guess JoJo's never ends. Or I guess, like, the end of that part.
Right.
Yeah, the end of Part 6, yes.
Next question. What quirk would you have? It could be either in-series quirk, or it could be as well, like, your own, like, one that you thought up.
Yeah. So, I've honestly always been a fan of, like, gravity powers.
Ooh.
So, not to tie back into whatever. But more so, like, the way I would see it is kind of like, so you know how Midoriya's mom has, like, that telekinesis power, which is, like, for small objects? I'd want something like that, but, like, more of, like, just a little bit more, like, an enhanced power of that, so, but only for, like, a limited area. So, yeah, so that way it's not, like, too overpowered, like, I can't bring a meteorite from up in the heavens and bring down, like, some other characters in other series. No, just, like, maybe, like, I don't know how long the radius would be, but something like that where it's like there's a sphere or like a space around me where I can control like the force or the gravity in that area.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pass it over to Joanna because I don't think we asked you last week. What quirk would you have?
I want Shoto's. Shoto's. Where I just want that fire and ice. I want that fire and ice. Like, just like, mix like hot, cold. So, I want his quirk. Shoto's nice. That's the one I want.
And, back to Wayne, what was your favorite arc? Or, like, could be favorite moment or like, I don't know.
Honestly, an arc that I am saddened that doesn't get as much praise as it should is actually the Cultural Festival arc.
Oh!
A lot of people especially when the anime came out, a lot of people chalked it up as filler. Oh, this is filler. Oh, this is boring. Like, no, that's one arc, besides like some of the arcs after it, that's one arc that has probably the best character writing in it, because we have a great villain in Gentle, who's basically a downtrodden YouTuber. We have Eri learning how to smile again, you know, and then also, like, the biggest thing for me is the music performance. Like, I know Ben knows this, but I'm actually a musician myself. So, I know what it's like being on stage and performing and all that. So, seeing Jiro put all this stuff together, and then them having the performance, and then literally, I'm actually kind of holding back a little bit in my emotions talking about this part, but like, when when we get the little flashback of her, like, talking to her parents about wanting to be a hero, saying, oh, I just think it's so cool to, like, save people and all that, and her mom literally being like, well, her dad being like, you know, oh yeah, it's fine, do whatever you want. Sometimes it just starts off as, hey, that thing's cool, and her mom being like, yeah, that's great, you know, do what you can with your sound. If anything, isn't being a musician and a hero the same thing? Oh. And, like, that's just so powerful, especially in the manga. Like, when you see that happening, you just see her just belting on stage. And then all of that is just enhanced in the anime when you finally get the song and the performance. And it's just, it's so good. And everyone just is all like, oh, it's just filler. Oh, it's just, why aren't they fighting? No. The thing that moment proves is that this series being a hero is not just about punching the bad guy. It's not about that. It is about being a hero. And there is more to being a hero than punching a bad guy. It is giving faith to other people. It is giving that courage to other people. And we see that through the shadow of Overhaul, escaping Eri as she's just smiling and having fun, being that kid again. And, like, I don't understand why people downplay this so much, because it's so good.
You're legit making me tear up. I think, Banks, did you want to say something?
Like, I felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree with everything that Wayne said. It's like that, it's like I've said before, it's like stuff that you see in the manga, it's so different when it gets animated, because when you read it, it's like, yo, this is a cool moment, but then when you actually see it animated and you see Overhaul's shadow finally released from Eri, and then she's smiling. Like, I remember when I watched that episode, like, I teared up, because I'm just like, yo, like, Eri, she finally smiled. Like, from, you know, Midoriya and Mirio giving her hope again, and, you know, them just trying to get her to smile and just be happy. Like, they achieved what they set out to do. And, like, that whole performance and the whole festival as a whole, and then Midoriya giving her the candy apple at the end of the episode. Like, it was just a really good episode, and I don't understand how people don't like it either. I mean, I guess some people, they just want to see action all the time, but it's like, you have to enjoy the story moments for when they are given, because it's like, it makes the whole story come together as one big, beautiful thing.
And it really just clicked for me as well, like, thinking about, like, I think in an interview, Horikoshi said that their idea of a hero was, like, someone who took your anxiety away.
Yeah.
And that's, like, listening to music, like, cheers people up or it makes them feel better. So it's like, I was like, I don't know, it really is kind of very similar, or at least for that definition. I don't know, it makes me happy. This is making me like the Culture Festival even more. Even though, like, I already like it, this is like...
I have an agenda to push.
Yay, you need to talk to Jay, who comes on our podcast. Because he also loves that arc. But next question, what direction do you want the story to go after this?
Like after this arc?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So, this arc, I mean, we kind of saw it in this chapter, which I guess we'll talk a little bit when we get into that part. I think we're seeing the end of Hero Society. In a way.
I definitely, yeah.
Like, I don't want to talk too much yet about it, but we're nearing a point where Japan's gonna have this huge, they're gonna have like a huge political thing going on because of all this. And they're going to be changing the way their hero society works. And not only are we going to see that on a political state, but we're probably going to see that in some of the way, like, some of the students act, and, like, people who aspire to be heroes, they might not aspire to be heroes anymore because of this. Because, like, it's just, it all also ties back to state, too, with the whole, you know, there are heroes out here that just want it for the fame, the fortune, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sure there are people at some of these schools that are like that. You know, I mean, we have Mineta who wants to be a hero so he can be popular. You know, I mean, I don't think anyone from 1A is really going to be dropping out, but we might see, like, there's going to be a huge backlash after this. And I'm more interested to see what happens with that.
Like, there might be, like, no new first years, maybe, or something.
Well, I don't think they're going back to UA, but that could be part of the theory talk.
Oh yeah, and do you have any theories?
Yes, my theory. So I'm actually part of a Discord that talks about My Hero Academia a lot, and one of the more popular theories on that is how Japan is actually being quote unquote cut in half. And they're using the example they use for that is how Gigantomachia has basically just made a beeline through all these cities just to get to where Shigaraki is. So that's like the war line right there. So crossing that line is going to be, there's going to be one side that's going to be like the villains, and then the other side that's going to be the heroes. And I think the villains will take over UA. So I don't think we're going back to UA after this. I think UA is going to be taken over by the villains as their, like, quote-unquote base of operations. And I also think, I'm going to go into a couple other theories that I don't know if people are ready to hear. I think, A, Shigaraki's going to steal Eri's quirk. And B, Shigaraki will kill All Might.
Oh, I thought you were going to say kill Eri, and I was going to fight
No. Oh, no. Eri's going to be fine. She's just gonna have her quirk stolen.
Yeah.
And Shigaraki's only gonna steal it so they can make more quirk erasing bullets. But All Might will die because he'll try to stand up and protect her, because right now he's with her. But that's probably one of my craziest theories right now.
And, do you have any traitor theories?
I keep forgetting that the
I know
there. I mean, and I think I read somewhere Horikoshi even kind of forgets about it sometimes. So
I think that's honestly, canon.
Yeah, I don't think there is a traitor.
Nah, there is.
There has to be.
No, there is.
Because how do they know where the camp was? I guess would be my thing. Sorry to argue.
If there is, I mean, some people could say it was Hawks just so he could get the, word in. I've seen some theories about, like, Vlad, from, the teacher from 1B. I don't know. I mean, it could be just another different entity. I guess if I were to choose somebody, honestly.
Go ahead and say it. Say his name.
Oh. What? Do you know who I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the principal.
Oh.
I thought you were saying Cope.
I knew it.
But for real, I mean, think about it. It's like Coda could put a small little note on the messenger pigeon and then send information.
You laugh, but I think we did do an episode image where we drew, like, a pigeon with, like, a gun. So who knows? Okay, yeah. The principal, because it would be interesting, because he, like, was kind of experimented on by humans, so have the motive.
Not only just that, but it kind of goes with his quirk as well, with high specs. Because he could easily get away with something like that. Yeah.
And I guess the one thing you might not like is I kind of still suspect Ochiko. She got into it heroing for money. And I wonder, I guess the problem is the League doesn't have money. So they couldn't, like, bribe her with money.
They broke.
She wants money for her family.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want her to be the traitor because I want her to be interesting. Because I like her, but I want more action. I want her to do more.
She is interesting.
I know. I just want more. I'm greedy.
That's fine. I can take greed over. Oh, I hate this character because no. If you're greedy, fine.
Yeah. Because I guess whoever's the traitor, if there is one, or if we ever find out, that they will be a focus, basically. So I think that would be interesting. So I think thanks. If Coda is the traitor, he's gonna get so much focus in the series. Or they're just gonna
Well, if he is the traitor, then that makes me hate him even. Well, I already hate him a lot, but it's like now people all over the world will share my hatred. We can all hate Coda together, and then I'll be like, I knew it. There was a reason why I always hated Coda, and you all laughed at me and said I was wrong for hating him, but now y'all hate him too. I'm the original Coda hater. And I don't care what anybody thinks.
You know what? Just for that, if Coda is the traitor, I'm gonna love him even more.
Yes. And I did want to shout out, Night Hunter on YouTube pointed out, the League doesn't know who the traitor is. Shigaraki wondered how All For One found the forest camp. So, most probably only All For One knows who the traitor is. And maybe Kurogiri, because he warped them there.
Oh.
But who knows? I don't know. That's just a tidbit, because we were discussing it. And we're I don't know. But are we ready to move on over to talking about the chapter 291?
Yes.
It's
in
interesting.
there.
Oh, it was. I was like, part in the middle child, I was just like, what? And then I'm like, what? That was me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Chapter 291. It is titled, Thanks for Going Strong. We start with the winds of winter howled that day, and the air was dry. In the past, I used to train up on Sekoto Peak, and there it was. That Toya burned to death. They said fire burned at over 2,000 degrees Celsius. The body was never found. His bones were reduced to ash, and the blaze of draft scattered them to the wind. Only a fragment of his lower jaw bone was found, and yet at the time I kept. And then you go to baby Toya, in Denver, going, what's going on with your hair? And he's like, huh? And Denver's like, it's turning white, probably because of stress, because he's so hard on them.
Mm-hmm.
And Toya's like, no way, I ain't some old man. Did you die yet? Who, me? No way. My eldest Toya didn't harbor frost within. But the fire he possessed was greater than my own. And he goes and says, but forget that. Today is the day you teach me an alternate move. And you see Denver kind of give me a little side grin, like, okay, we'll see. Then, he didn't have a way to overcome the escapable downside of overheating, but I nevertheless sought to raise the boy to be a hero. Meanwhile, I still yearned for a child whose quirk combined fire and ice. My wife wanted more children, saying they could encourage each other. Then Fuyumi, my second was born. She only inherited Rei's quirk. Neither child bore the ideal quirk I was hoping for, but at the time I was happy all the time. It's interesting how he was happy with Toy, but then when he has other kids, especially with Shoto, he kind of gets angry, kind of
I guess we don't see the third kid, how he reacted to Natsu, because we actually don't know if Natsu has a quirk. All we know is that he has the same constitution as Rei. Also, is he just basing this on the kid's hair? Because
that's what
you don't see quirks until age 4.
And Joanna, to answer your question, I think the reason why he was happy is because Toya was the person who he thought could become the number one hero and overcome All Might. And that's why he was happy, because, he felt like that this was his greatest creation. But then after he died, I guess, he kind of gave up.
But he kept trying. I don't know.
Maybe probably just the fact that, people maybe after Toy, that was it. He's rest of his kids, even though he as much as he tries with his wife to have more kids, he probably expected not to be as great as Toy until Shoto is born, and he ends up with both the fire and ice quirk.
Yeah, that's true. And another thing too is because Toya died, maybe that's the reason why he was harder on Shoto to make sure that Shoto didn't end up like his older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Toya dying not only affected Endeavor and the way he treated everybody, but the way Ray, their mom, was acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that affected her even more.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot to dive into here with Endeavor and the way, especially the way he's acting with Toya here, because Toya seems excited to be training.
Mm-hmm.
And Endeavor's just like, that's my boy. And I mean, we'll find out as we keep reading, like, it seems like those two, and then when Fuyumi came in, things were decent. Because I guess that's why Fuyumi's trying to, like, keep the family together.
Mm-hmm.
Because she vaguely remembers how things were.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Caleb Cook, he does, like, he's official translator, you can follow him on Twitter at CDCubed. He does a lot of breakdowns. I think maybe, I'm trying to remember if Toya died while Ray was in hospital or after, or before. I honestly don't know, but I think it would make more sense to be before, that it impacted both her and Endeavor, and, like, she kind of, like, you did this to my son, and now, like, I'm seeing the dad in the kid.
Yeah.
I don't know, but do we want to keep going? We can talk more about this maybe at the end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
No worries. I think it's good to talk about because it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. As we continue, so because Toya had more potential than me, I placed my ambitions on his shoulder. Ow! I guess he's holding his hand. His hand is burned. I thought it could be you. You could have been the one to reach my eternal goal. My frustration, my envy, the ugliest in my heart, you could have been the one. To smash it all to dust. No, because he just can't believe. He's like, no, Toya is dead. Take back that despicable lie. And Toya's like, nope. He's like, nope. He's like, nope. I'm clearly alive. And that's the despicable truth, Dad. Because you put a whole agency together of fire and heat type quirk. You didn't even suspect me.
Dabby never spoke a word of this. He kept it hidden from us. What's up with that? But anyway, wake the heck up, Shigaraki. Machia needs orders.
I love Spitter. Sorry, yeah, Spitter's my favorite.
Oh, you're good. And then Mr. Compressor says, my word, another with quite the bloodline. Don't believe me? I'm happy to donate some of blood or a hunk of skin. Go ahead, get a DNA test. Not that it matters, since the test I ran has already gone public. And then you see Dabby sitting in the chair, and he's holding up a sheet of paper like he's on an episode of Maury.
Yes, I was gonna say!
Yo, that should be the image for
you. Are the father.
Oh my god. Yo! Maury.
It really is. That image is going to be like people throwing chairs at each other.
And so then, Dabby, he's on the screen and he's talking to everybody in the city that's watching. There is a 99.9% match between my DNA and a sample of Endeavor's blood from the battle at Kyushu. Still, I'm sure many of you believe this to be an elaborate hoax, so I'll just have to convince you otherwise. And then you see Shoto just, what's that word, brooding, and like he's always doing. And Dabby continues and says, after all that, Endeavor made sure Mom kept having kids. The fourth was someone most of you are familiar with, I think. Yes, at long last, little Shoto was the successful creation. And he even abused that successful creation. I've seen him do it many times. And then we see his sister at work, and it looks like she's a teacher teaching in class, or at a college or something like that. And
I think she's a preschool teacher.
Is she? I can't remember if they said what she was.
I think it's definitely elementary, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see Natsu, he's holding his phone, and I was about to say, like, what if she was teaching the class that he's in? That would be funny, but, but yeah, he's looking at his phone. Dobby's still saying Endeavor doesn't have an empathetic bone in his body. At his core, he's addicted to the limelight. A man who wallows in his own small-mindedness and self-importance. And you just see, like, everybody just listening, and, you know, you see the old lady, she's watching on TV. And Dobby continues as he shows the results. I think that's what that is. Or, no, that looks like his Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's social media blowing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Dobby says, is that the sort of person who should call himself a hero? And then you see Endeavor's #1 fan, a.k.a. and we can call him the Deku Endeavor fan. He's lying. He's gotta be. Who'd ever believe this junk? People ain't gonna lose faith in a hero over this. We are not that freaking stupid. And then Dobby, he says, those who keep company with Endeavor are no different. Take Hawks, the #2 hero, and you see Hawks as he's attacking twice. And then the fan, he's just like, what? No, I'm not gonna say what. He says, Nani? There we go. There we go. I still gotta protect their happiness. The others are waiting for you. Yeah? Okay. That crime villain who's trying to run away. I did my best to protect him, but Hawk skewered the guy without the slightest of hesitation. Perfectly spliced and edited, even on the fly. Bow down to my skills. This is the editing tech guy saying this. And Dabby saying, thanks to you and your camera for that prime footage. No reason not to use what we got, right? This is my present to you, Endeavor. See, I did some digging into Hawks, that filthy spy.
And Endeavor surprised, Hawks? In order to curry favor with us, Hawks even killed a hero. #3 hero, in fact, who was recuperating. He killed Best Jeanist. And I don't know, I think he's like putting his hands on his head, or he's like listening. I'm like, what are you doing, Dabby?
Yeah, I think
he's listening to the announcement.
He's like pretending like he's listening to it, like, you know, like music to my ears. Yes, keep it going.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting a little bit of Hawks like recovering at a camp somewhere, and saying carrying out that murder didn't ruffle his feathers in the slightest, since violence is already so ingrained in his lifestyle. And it's really no wonder. And we see Tokoyami's, like, yelling out, like, he needs help. We're like, I don't know, like, they're already treating him. Like, he's just, like, he's shocked.
They might be able to hear all this.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's, like, broadcasting on, like, phones or something.
Yeah.
And then, since his own father was a serial robber and murderer, a villain, which is exactly why Hawks' background and real name were kept secret. It was Endeavor who captured his father, actually. Maybe it was that connection and some twist of fate that brought these men together. I couldn't let that stand! And he keeps going saying, these twisted people with skeletons in their closets, they cover it all up with masks of justice. But they don't stop there. They call themselves heroes and keep fooling everyone. I just want everyone to stop and think. The only ones these heroes protect are themselves. With all that ugliness inside, they use you people to give them protection, approval, admiration. And I didn't realize it before when I first read it, but there is all the different ads for all the different heroes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the wash one.
Yep.
He's selling detergent. I was trying to look at some of them. Because I think I thought I saw an Ingumenium one, but I don't think there actually is. And, Endeavor's doing some deep breathing, and then Can't You See Kid's friend calls him Can't You See Kid, which is weird. I guess it just like hit home that that's who he is. Can't You See Kid, this is bad news. And we kind of get a shot of everybody reacting, and say by speaking out, he's already won. Whether he's lying or not, that's a question for later. He might be a villain, but people are gonna lose faith over this. I hate to say it, but me too. I'm sorry, especially with all this damage and destruction. Anyone witnessing all this would have to be stupid not to lose their faith, right? And we get, like, Dabi and Todoroki kind of, like, facing off or, like, glaring at each other. Todoroki looks very anguished. And he attacks him with ice. And Dabi's jumping around saying, "Thanks for going strong up until now, Endeavor!" And they showed some of the wreckage as well. But who's I'm guessing that's Can't You See Kid that's crying.
Is it? Oh, I think it is. Okay. Yeah, it is.
I thought it was Natsu for a second.
I thought it was too, but now that I'm looking at it, I think, yeah, that's the same shirt that Can't You See Kid's wearing, and you can see the chair behind him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we have Endeavor just looking on, just in defeat, just thinking to himself, at the time, I kept searching for you. And in this moment, we have Shoto. He's just going in because his father is just useless at this point. He's just like, "Father, here he comes!" Endeavor still thinking to himself, with sound effects going, like his breathing just getting shortened and all that. "I didn't believe you were dead." Shoto, he's telling his dad, "Protect Midoriya and the others. Hado and I will fight." And we see Todoroki. He is in tears right here, by the way.
I didn't notice that till now.
Get moving. You gotta protect them. Come on. Worry about the rest later. And then Dabi just free falling from the sky, about to do a flash fire fist as he's dabbing Dabi here. Bakugo and Deku are just watching on, and then Todoroki, Shoto Todoroki, about to do a prominence burn, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
A prominence burn, about to go in, when all of a sudden, these huge spools of thread come crashing down, knocking down, it looks like Maki is knocked down a little bit, and they tie around Dabi here. Wires from the sky and from the heavens above. We see a plane all the way up. We see, about 4 or 5 giant spools of carbon fiber wire, whatever it is. Apologies for the delay. As of today, Best Jeanist is back on duty. And
I called it.
It's November 29th.
Whoa! I think we had to talk on, like, our Twitter chat, and, like, I was saying, like, it has to be Best Jeanist, but, like, I kind of want to be like someone else, but it's Best Jeanist!
Yep.
Unless, like, Toga, like, hijacked a plane. And that could be because I think we saw, I don't know. But, yeah, Best Jeanist is here to fuck shit up.
Yes, get in there.
Oh, and Gigantomachia, he's wearing pants.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
He's gonna get got.
You know what's crazy? It's like, we never knew if he was wearing pants or not because he was just going so fast. And now it's good to know that he's not completely naked.
Yeah, you can see the belt loop. You can see some, pockets there. Yeah, nice pants.
I wonder how big that belt loop is. Like,
or can you imagine, like, who made those pants?
Best Jeanist.
He probably got in contact with Bruce Banner's guy.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, let me just get in contact with this guy in America for a second. Hey, Bruce, where do you get your pants from?
But, let's, start talking about maybe more the chapter in general. Joanna, what were your thoughts on the chapter? I'm gonna go in order that we read it. No pressure.
No pressure. No, when I first read it, and I was kind of seeing the relationship between Toya and Endeavor, because what we kind of talking before, he was pretty much an ass. Like, he was an ass to the rest of his kids. So when I'm seeing with Toya, and he's like my successor, I'm gonna train him, like, I'm gonna be, like, kind and train him well. I was really surprised about that. I'm like, I was not expecting that side of him. Like, I wasn't expecting that side of him. I was like, okay, so maybe Endeavor, he wasn't an ass back in the day, but, now. And then when you kind of could see, like, the emotion, like, when he, like, I think continuing from the last chapter where he's just like, my son's alive, like, no, like, he's like, I don't believe this. This is, like, a lie. Like, no, you're just making this up. Like, don't, like, and you can feel like he's like really like emotional. Like, this is like my firstborn. He's supposed to be like my heir. He's supposed to be able to be all my, like, I can't believe that he is still alive. And then when Best Genius, that's when I was like, what? When he kind of just like falls in the sky, I was just like, what? Like, he's just like, whoa, okay, like, this, wow, he just came from the sky. That probably was like, okay, like, wow, okay. Join the party, we missed you.
I am a little worried because there are, like, splots of something on, like, around his finger. So is he bleeding already?
Who? Oh, Genus?
Yeah.
I think that's just a fact.
Okay.
Like, I don't think he's already bleeding.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
I don't see. Oh, what are you talking about? I don't see anything on his hand.
There's like a
like a speck.
Yeah.
And also on his hair.
It's probably just debris from him, shooting all of those threads out and stuff just coming up towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's that stuff that's around him? Like, as he's falling to the ground, it looks like containers or something. It's probably containers that villains.
They're giant like spools of I want to say it's carbon fiber. Because the most I'll say is read Vigilantes and you'll understand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's why like a few chapters ago when we saw the shadowy figure and the spools in there, like in the plane, that's why like everybody was like, oh, it's Best Genus, because just read Vigilantes.
Yeah.
It makes sense now because I know we were talking about like how was Best Genus, if it was Best Genus, like how was he gonna stop Machia? But it's like if he has all of that right there, he'll be able to wrap him up like like in Star Wars. I've got the AT.
Oh yeah.
The big one is.
Yeah.
Tie up the legs, and he's wearing pants too, so he can like do that and that. I guess like I don't know. Machia scares me, so I'm just like, he's just gonna like get bigger or something, or maybe he'll shrink. My Machia's actually small theory will be proven. But sorry, Joanna, was there any other thoughts you had for the chapter?
No, just I'm very surprised to see like kind of like that deep sad emotion from Endeavor. Like, like this is the first time I actually like really see like he's just like, oh my goodness, this could be my son who I thought was dead for so long.
Banks, what were your thoughts on the chapter?
I enjoyed this chapter a lot more than last week's chapter, just because there was a lot more going on with, Dobby telling the world what was going on with, Endeavor. Cause it's like Endeavor, like, in the public eye, he's this hero, he's the cool guy, he's the number one hero, and it's like people don't really know, like, how much of an ass that he really is and how much of a shitty person that he is. And I'm happy that, all of this is coming out to show you that, like, at the end of the day, because this is something that I say about celebrities, it's like, in the real world, people, they praise celebrities and whatnot, but celebrities, they're no different than us. Like, the only difference between us and celebrities is that they have money. You know what I'm saying? And they're in the public eye. And, like, that's the same thing with the heroes here in My Hero Academia. It's like, they're no different than normal people, except that they have quirks. They're still people at the end of the day, and they do shitty things. Like, I'm sure that there are other heroes in this series that, that we don't know about that have probably done even worse stuff than Endeavor has done. So, I think what's going to happen next is, like, a lot of people are going to start waking up and saying, like, hey, we really don't need heroes. But then you're going to have some people that are like, well, we do need heroes because the heroes, it's like they keep us safe, they protect us and whatnot. But then it's like when you have, these heroes that have done shitty things, especially now, like how Dobby was trying to say that Hawks killed twice when we all know that that's not what really happened. We know that Dobby's the one that killed twice.
No. Twice, Hawks definitely killed him.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it was that he kind of, like, at one point Dobby, I just reread the chapter, that it was that, like, Dobby kind of recklessly shot Flames, like, he could have killed twice, but Hawks rescued him. And then he kind of, like, encouraged Twice to not surrender and, like, keep going. And so Twice is like, okay, I'll do it. And then Hawks is like, no! Bleh.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you for correcting me on that, because I thought what happened was, it's like, Hawks was trying to take Dobby, not Dobby, he was trying to take Twice to get interrogated or something like that, and then Dobby shows up, and then, like, he just shoots flames everywhere, and Twice just gets caught in the crossfire. It's been
basically, Dobby kind of made Hawks kill Twice. Even though Twice probably wouldn't have surrendered anyways, he didn't help with the situation. And he also didn't care. Like, he was, like, smiling when he's like, oh, actually, I am upset. And it's like, I don't know. Dobby is really, really weird, so it's hard to tell.
I agree.
Dobby's basically using the League of Villains for his own agenda, so to say. So, like, it's where he cares about them enough to use them for his own benefit, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and read that chapter, because it feels like it's been an eternity since I've read it, and, like, that's the reason why I thought that. But, something else that I liked about this chapter as well was, last chapter, we didn't know what Dobby was putting in his hair. Like, we didn't know if it was, like, alcohol or what, but now it makes sense that it was hair dye, so that way he could make his hair white. So that way Endeavor would recognize that was his son. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. I still, like, kind of think that it's just paint. Because, like, I don't think you could do the hair dye that fast. Because hair dye has to, like, sit in your hair. Or it's bleach, maybe?
I thought it was, like, some sort of chemical. Because, I mean, we see in this chapter that his hair was already starting to turn white.
Or...
As a kid. So... Yeah. He probably tried to, like, keep dyeing it so it would be, like, a different color so he wouldn't be recognized. Because when we see it, like, in the... putting anime into all this, we see... correct me if I'm wrong, we saw Toya having, like, a maroon-colored hair.
Mm-hmm.
And where Dobby has, like, black hair. So, he might have been trying to, like, dye it to, stay black, but, like, I mean, this world... a lot different than our own, so it's hard to put real world logic into, he just put a chemical on. But that could have been the case where, like, there's a fast acting chemical that just takes away the hair dye, and that is natural hair colors right there.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, I guess, is there any other thoughts, Banks?
No, that's it for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess I'm just wondering, why was Toya on that peak in the first place? I guess I don't believe that Dobby is Toya. Unless there needs to be someone else behind Dobby. Because, like, how did he survive? Who gave him his weird staple things? Because it wasn't the doctor.
Think about it.
Because the doctor, like, Dobby joined them after Stain. Like, if he'd dealt with the doctor, he would have been with them from the start, and there would have been multiple fire. There were more Nomu. Nomu would have fire powers.
Do we know that he didn't have a tie with the doctor, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like, though, he would have been they recruited him afterwards because of Stain. Like, he didn't seem to have ties to them.
Right. But that's the thing. Like, the doctor, he didn't really start having ties with Shigaraki until All For One was incarcerated. Mm-hmm. When we started having, like, My Villain Academia. That's when we got, like, the big reveal of, oh, that's the doctor? Oh, wait. That's the same doctor that told Deku that he didn't have a quirk. So, this guy's already shady to begin with. So, who's to say that he didn't just see this kid burning, or, take him in, and was just like, alright, well, let's just recreate you, and, alright, go out into the world now, you're on your own. Something like that,
Yeah, like, we don't really know anything, so, like, honestly, you 100% could be right. I guess my theory, I know Joanna was talking about maybe it was going away from stress. I think it might have been, because I think it's that someone, when they were fighting Dobby, mentioned that, like, when he burns, he, like, burns himself as well, or something. Yeah. So, like, maybe his, like, constitution was, like, changing when he was a kid, so it was, like, kind of like Fuyumi has, like, white and red hair, but she just has ice powers. Maybe he was, like, his body was, like, kind of in flux or something.
Okay.
I don't know, though, but I'm just wondering if maybe he, like, took someone else with him on the mountain and, like, showed off, and Toya died, and then some other dude was there. Which doesn't really make sense.
That could be the case, too. Like, and that's the thing. Like, this part kind of leaves, like, we get some of the Dobby backstory, but we're not getting all of it. And exactly. the key point with this is we're getting Endeavor's side of all this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing Endeavor, like, being all happy and thinking, oh, you're the person that's gonna, save me from myself and blah blah blah. And, we're seeing Toya being all happy, but so we're seeing a lot of Endeavor's side of this story where I think later on down the line, like, I don't think it'll be like next chapter or anything. I think this is gonna be like way down the line where we'll get more of the Dobby / Toya backstory, and that's where we're gonna see, what happened on this mountain peak. Why is it that, Fuyumi still wants to have this family so close together, but, Natsu had his stuff, and Shoto had his stuff, all that, like, there's pieces of this puzzle missing, and we'll get that later on.
Yeah. And I guess, I don't know, it's just, like, it's weird, like, Endeavor, I guess, like, he wasn't always an asshole, and it kind of, like, built up, and he became abusive later on.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, it feels weird, but I think it's good to kind of see it, and then, like, he, like, kind of self-corrected, and it's just interesting, because, like, yeah, the past never dies, so he's trying to redeem himself, like, to his living kids, but Toya is alive, isn't alive. Pardon, Joanna, sorry?
No, I'll say it's not that easy to forget the past.
Yeah, and it's, like, especially, like, child abuse is really, it's, like, really, there is no, like, right answer. It's, like, the abuse, dealing with the abuser. It's very, I don't know.
That's why it's so hard to, like, be like, oh, I like Endeavor, and it's just like, well, wait, you like a child abuser? It's like, well, no, he's a well-written character, because this is a human response to everything.
Yeah, and also just, like, seeing him so anguished makes me like him as well, because, like, I don't know, people also could like serial murderers in manga, but it's just kind of, like, the fact that it's so real, that, like, child abuse is something that, like, is in our world.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not, like, also eugenics is in our world as well, which is bad.
Yep.
But anyways, so I don't know, Endeavor is a very fascinating character, but he definitely has, like, can rub people the wrong way, and, like, will the landing stick? Like, will, like, stick the landing, like, people... I just really love the shot of, like, to smash it all to dust.
Yeah.
Cause that panel he's on, like, Machia, just, like, kind of gloating. And also, I made fun of Endeavor a lot for having his agency all be fire people instead of water or ice to cool him down! Even though I'm pretty sure Vigilantes, we finally see someone, like, hose him, and I was like, thank you! But he was doing it because he was trying to find his son! Not very effective, but okay. Or, like, maybe that? I don't know. Because I could just, like, because you put a whole agency together of fire and heat, you didn't even suspect me. So that's what, like, is that what it means? Like, because I guess that's someone's interpretation I read on Twitter, but, like, you didn't even suspect me, like, I guess, like, he didn't suspect him when you first saw him at, the most recent place. I forgot the name now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Also, like, can be like, oh, I took the... Also, I, like, don't know enough about science, but if your DNA matches 99.9%, doesn't that mean you're a clone? Like, Ray's DNA should also be in there.
I'm not 100% sure how DNA tests work like that, so.
Joanna! Tell me some details. Oh, did you want to say something?
No. Because it's not so much a clone, but it's just, I think it's more cause don't quote me, cause I'm not, that's not my, but I know it's like 99% just indicates that, like, you have half their genes. If that makes sense. So in a way, like, a 99% chance that you have like, your father's or your mother's genes. I know it's weird, but...
I swear he's lying, cause, like, I don't know. Did he send it to, like, Ancestry.com or something? Like, who did it? Maybe the doctor did?
The doctor may have.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, DNA tests might work a little differently in their world since there's the whole, like, quirk factor kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there might be a little skew with, like, their percentages. So, like, where you said, 98% is like, oh, that's like half of the one parent. Well, that extra 1% might be based on, like, the quirk and all that,
Mm-hmm. Or also, like, past generation stuff forward as well.
Yeah.
And I think last week I was talking about I hope that Fuyumi, like, wouldn't had access to the internet, and so she wouldn't get his due.
Well,
I was right! Someone had to come in and talk to her.
Yeah, unfortunately, a nosy teacher is like, hey, I know you're teaching right now, but do you know about this?
I like to imagine it's a principal, maybe, but probably the teacher. I really like seeing Can't You See Kid again, and kind of like, we get kind of the two things, the thing like, oh, there's no way I believe it, and his friend he's on his right, it's a right shark.
Yeah.
Kind of being,
right shark.
Yeah, kind of being like, it's weird that he like, it's him talking over such a dramatic thing. Like, I almost thought it was a newscast. I'm like, wait, no, it's Shark.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, and then we kind of get like the Hawks thing. I'm just like, why are people? I guess it's just like it's not his fault who his dad is. Like, screw you. But and then also it really reminds me of the Spider-Man Far From Home. The kind of re-edited footage, kind of giving like the wrong perspective on something, or kind of like, I don't know, Hawks did kill him.
Yeah.
But I kind of had to, because like if he let him go, he would go and kill a bunch of heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Like Hawks did what he had to do in order to, like, it's one of those questions where it's just like, well, do I sacrifice the lives of the few or the lives of the many?
And it's just it's a tough decision for heroes, and like I don't know, it's just, and that's what kind of Dabi's playing with as well.
Yeah.
And also just like, I don't know, because I kind of like agree, because Dabi isn't lying. Or is he? So like, that's the interesting part. He just kind of edited the Hawks video a little bit. I don't know, but then like, it just kind of the mood shift of Best Genus showing up. I'm just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
He's like, screw this family drama.
He's just like, yeah, no, we're done with this.
And I definitely thought Prominence, I thought that was, who'd I thought it was Dabi, but he's doing Flashfire things.
Yeah.
But Prominence is Todoroki.
Yeah, no, he's going in there with Daddy's attack, so. And
Machi is like also about to attack, but then the ropes come in.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't just burn the ropes.
Oh wait. Oh, I'm looking at it. All right, so I'm looking at the panel again where like where Genus is coming in, like, and Machia is like going down. It looks like some of the cables are going like into Machia.
I see some going into the ground. Oh yeah, definitely. They're definitely going to his back.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I just now noticed all the other ones now.
It's like, I don't know, cause the Prominence thing, I see Todoroki on the ground. I don't know. I really hope, I wonder if that's, cause I think, I'm gonna quote Caleb again, the digital translator, that, like, the flames look different than what Horikoshi usually draws for blue flames.
What,
so,
the
Flashfire
Fist? Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe they're white?
Yeah, I mean, I know the anime has it as, like, blue flames. So.
Yeah, because before he did the 2000 degrees when he died, what color are 2000 degree flames?
Well, let's see what Google has to say with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm Googling. Flames turn orange when temperatures reach 2000.
Okay.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, no.
2000, they turn white. Oh, I never really thought of that. Which flames can burn jet fuel? Sorry, I'm doing a lot of Googling. Give me a second.
Oh, good.
Because, I don't know. But it is very interesting. The mood keeps changing, basically. Oh, what? That doesn't make any sense. What flame burns jet flame? It burns metal. This is what I wanted to steel beams. Okay, I will stop Googling things. But overall, like, it's a really cool chapter. I keep being like, what the hell's gonna happen next? I really just want Machia to fall asleep. Like, please, God.
Oh, to pay off all that.
Yes, I just don't like him. Because he's just like, I don't know. I really like Spinner being like, you didn't give him orders or something. It is interesting. I think Shigaraki is like knocked out, basically. Because you see, I want to go back to that Spinner page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, right now, I mean, that you see, like, in one of the panels, they show Deku and Bakugo, and I will say that I like that it's kind of taken the action away from them, because it's like a few chapters ago, we got to see Uraraka versus Toga, and now we're seeing Dabi make his grand reveal that he's Endeavor's son, and then now you have Todoroki who's here, that's just like, okay, Daddy's just sitting there shitless, doesn't know what to do right now, and we still have a battle going on. It's like, we can't just stop. And I'll say that right there shows you the difference between Endeavor and All Might, because even when All Might was at his weakest and when One for All was sitting there revealing that Shigaraki was Tomura's grandson, it's like All Might never stopped fighting. He kept going, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why All Might was the number one hero. He kept on fighting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, that's a difference of, reaction. So, like, where, you know, that's the grandson of my teacher and all that, you know, that's almost family to me, even though I've never met him before, you know, that's my teacher's name. So, like, All Might, when he gets, like, when something like that happens, he rushes in no matter what, and honestly, that's probably why he got injured to begin with. Whereas with Endeavor, like, he's in shock right now, because he even says in here, he's like, you know, I did keep searching for you. I didn't think you were dead. Yeah. You know, so, like, right now it's more of it's a shock that, oh my God, I was right. You were still alive.
Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, it's just a difference of, like, where you're not wrong. It's just like, it's just a difference of how they're reacting to this information that's coming to them.
And just, like, Endeavor's face this entire chapter, especially the one where he's saying no Toya is dead, because, like, the crinkle around his nose between his eyes is such a great detail of him being, like, really upset and really shocked. So, like, the art this chapter is just, like, and kind of also doing the graininess of making it more obvious that it's like, oh, this is the TV. And then I do wonder if that crying villain who tried to run away, was that, like, superimposed over top? Like, news things be like, a really dramatic reality TV. I don't know. But also, I'm going to say, is Dabi's hair fireproof? Because he lit his hair on fire. So he might be bald.
I mean, the others have to be fireproof.
Yeah.
But Dabi specifically, like, so I'm pushing for, and also he's, like, specifically lighting the areas of his body that have the really, like, that were burned, like the purple.
Right.
Look at his hands. I'm trying to think, maybe not the top of his head. Sorry. Or no, I don't know, his eyes.
He's fireproof, because on page 16, when Best Jeanist wraps him up, like, his hair is still there, like, everything is fine, like, you see a little smoke coming off of his.
Oh yeah, you're right.
His hair is fire. Really investigating. Like,
Dabi isn't though, because I think someone did point out, like, a bit ago, that, like, as well. But I guess, luckily for him, his hair is fireproof. Unfortunately for me, I can't make the episode image of bald Dabi. It would look very funny.
I've seen enough bald images on Twitter for the week. I'm good.
And I wonder, who then did whose body did he bring? His dad's?
Yeah, he might have just, you know, found some dead body on the street and brought it in.
And done, the World War I or II, they did that. They, like, used a body and, like, or they like, dropped it in and, like, did fake plans in it and stuff. So maybe, who knows? Or this isn't Best Jeanist? It has, like, I don't know. It's so weird.
I think it's gotta be.
We're gonna learn Bakugo's hero name.
Oh yeah. And okay, how do you guys feel about his hero name? What do you think is going to be?
So it's got to be something to do with explosions. I know most of the other heroes, well, not most of them, but some of them use, a mixture of their name and their quirk, like Whawkins or Gravity. I don't know. Like, honestly, I really don't know because him and Shoto don't have hero names. They're just Bakugo and Todoroki.
Joanna, do you have any theories?
Not at the moment.
Okay, good. This was a check because as long as nobody said Kachan, we're good.
I wouldn't mind. I feel like it might be just Bakugo or like Kachan. I wouldn't mind even. I don't know. I don't like because it could be Ground Zero. I think that was what it might have been for like the beginning Bakugo, like in the planning stages of the series or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want it to be something like maybe it'll be Bakugo or like. Just King Explosion, like, he just gets rid of the murder part.
Man, I love King Explosion murder. That should have been a thing.
I don't know, so, that'll be interesting. Just no one died. All I ask. No die.
Well...
but like, yeah, and also just kind of like, will people actually lose faith in heroes? Like, maybe there'll be kind of a divide of people who do or don't. And like... Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there is a commission about Hero Society and like Hero, protocol and all that. So like, we're probably gonna see a lot more of that. So like, I was talking to some people. I don't know if you guys caught that stream. You guys know who Roger's Base is by chance?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did you guys catch his best of 2020 manga?
I didn't watch it, but I did, like, hear a lot about it, and I kind of saw, like, the images. I know My Hero lost to One Piece, and, like, My Hero lost at first, and then it came back in, like, the loser ranks.
Yeah. So, they were talking about, like, potential for next year, like, this was, like, at the end of the stream. And some people said that, My Hero, is probably gonna dip down a little bit next year, because, like, right now we're getting, all this action, all these reveals, all this other stuff. I kind of want to dispute that because, again, there's going to be a lot of possibilities with the future of the series come next year. Like, where it's going to be boring in the sense of, there's probably not going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of story development and a lot of world development because of all this. So, we're probably going to see a lot of, like, political action going on. We might start with, some people are theorizing we're going to get a jailbreak arc coming soon. So I think that might be where we're going after this. And like that might be where this decline that they're talking about is coming from. Cause like where we'll be so action heavy, we're going to be getting, a lot of development regarding, Hero Society, regarding, how are we going to raise heroes? Who even wants to be a hero after this point? And even like what we said earlier, like, there are going to be some people that aren't going to want to be heroes. There are going to be some people that are probably going to be joining the Liberation Army Front. Like, their numbers are going to probably skyrocket after this.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, like, it might kind of go the Incredibles route, where it's, like, illegal to be a hero, and then, like, maybe some of the other heroes, like, have to go into, like, witness protection, basically, or potentially trial.
Well, see, that's gonna be a little hard because since, like, society's, like, 80%, you have, like, 80% of the society has quirks.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, they could get rid of heroes, but, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I'm thinking that there's gonna be, like, a civil war that goes on where it's like you're gonna have people who want to be heroes and continue doing what they're doing, and then you're gonna have people that want heroes to just be, used by the government. Like the government is who sends the heroes out, and you're going to have that divide, and you're going to see it amongst the students as well. Like I could see Ida being that one where it's just like, yeah, we need to be, follow the government's rules, and we need to listen to them. But then you're going to have Midoriya that's just like, no, like heroes need to just be able to do whatever they need to do. Like, I would be interested in seeing something like that. Like, I could see Bakugo siding with Midoriya over this because it's like, you know, they both love All Might, and All Might is a hero that is for the people. That's what All Might would want. But then back to Uraraka, who is somebody that wanted to do it for money. If the government's going to be paying me all this money to do what they want me to do for them, then why wouldn't I work for the government? So
yeah.
It's almost like Civil War though, like Marvel Civil War, where kind of like Captain America was like they want the government to control them, and Captain America was like, no, I don't want that, and then Iron Man's like, oh, I want that, and they end up fighting. Yeah. But I feel that I actually would like that because I think that'll make it more interesting because I want to kind of see that division between do we want the government to tell us what to do, or do we have to give us guidelines versus we want to do whatever we want to do without anyone telling us either way. Like,
because I guess right now it is essentially what Iron Man kind of would want, because right now your quirks are tracked by the government. They know what you are, and then like heroes work really closely with the cops, as we saw in Overhaul. So it's just like, I don't know. I guess I wonder if maybe Deku will kind of redefine what a hero is and kind of make it go back to basics instead of kind of that shot where you see all the ads with heroes, which makes me think of Tiger and Bunny.
I love Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, I wonder if they might have to change, like, I don't, what will happen? And I guess also what kind of just, like, rubs me, like, this arc is that, like, it feels like almost relevant to our what's going on in our reality.
Oh, it totally is.
But at the same time, not quite.
Right.
It's, like, a little bit off. Just because it's, like, quirks and stuff, but also kind of, like, the villains in this series are, like, they're gonna murder people. Well, like, so that's why I think I talked a little bit about this with Banks before, but I think I ended up, off pod and I got rid of some of this stuff, because I was like, it felt like, it's not like, I don't know, I don't think it's what Horikoshi is, like, trying to do. I think it's more just, like, a comment on, like, real society and kind of, like, what you always see with, like, in, like, oh, people have quirks, they have superpowers, like, what happens there, or I don't know, some, like, Banks or anyone else, like, wanna...
Well, like, that's the beauty of this kind of medium, because, like, these creators, they can bring things from real life into all of it. Like, the biggest example I can give is Naruto. With the whole Pain speech about the cycle of hatred. Literally, if you take that speech and just take the word shinobi out of it, or ninja, it can directly speak to our real life right now. And that's the great thing about series like these, like Naruto and My Hero Academia right here. You can correlate it to our own world, you know, because these things do happen. Like, I think it was Banks earlier said that, you know, we see celebrities like these gods among us, but literally they're pieces of shit just like us. They just have money, you know, like, and that's what we're learning. That's what this society in My Hero Academia is learning. Like, these heroes that say that they are the best thing ever, no. Some of them are pieces of shit. And that started all the way back in Stain arc. And once Stain was detained, but that video got out, things got worse. So now everything is finally coming to a head where Stain's ideals are finally coming to fruition. The only hero that always remember, the only hero that he could acknowledge was All Might.
All Might, yep.
He was the only one that could defeat him, that could truly defeat him in his eyes.
Yep. And, you know, something that I wanted to bring up too is I wonder what people in other countries are thinking about Japan right now. Because it's like as long as this series has been going on, it's like you never really hear about like what's going on in the other countries all over the world. And all you hear is how when All Might was in his prime, that like crime everywhere was it crime everywhere or was it only crime in Japan?
It was crime in Japan.
Yeah, so it's like what's going on in the rest of the world? You know what I'm saying? Like for these other countries that never have any big issues going on, but then in Japan you keep on seeing this stuff with All for One and now this stuff with the Liberation Army. You know, it's just you got to think, it's just like, dang, like, what are they doing over there?
Like the States especially, because you think, like, you guys have, like, the right to bear arms.
Right.
The right to use your quirk. Because, like, quirks use in Japan, at least, is very restricted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or at least, like, because we see that maybe a bit more in Vigilantes. But also, it makes sense, like, I don't know, it's just, like, I kind of want to see the state or, like, Canada as well. Because, honestly, if Endeavor or, like, Dobby or Todoroki come to Canada or come to cold places, just warm me up during the winter. It's not, like, always cold in Canada or anything.
I'm just gonna say this. If they do go to Canada and there isn't, like, a Wolverine-esque hero, I'm
yeah. I feel like there has to be. Like, there needs to be just some guy with, like, oh no, we already got him! In Overhaul arc, near the beginning, there was a guy who could kind of do, like, very short knives out of it.
I think I slightly remember that, but I'm talking, like, I want to actually see, it's like, okay, so in Canada, there has to be, like, a Wolverine-type hero. In America, there has to be, like, either a Superman or a Captain America-type hero. They'll probably just combine the two. In Africa, there has to be, like, a Black Panther-type hero. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for the UK, I believe it's, I forgot what his name is. He's a mutant, and, what's his name? Is Captain Britain?
I think I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Is it Captain Britain?
I want to say yes.
I believe so. Or it could be Psylocke. Like, she's from, so, it's like, you need, like, if they show these heroes in other countries, I gotta see these type of.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Benjamin Banks. There's a wonderful series called My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which you actually get to meet a top hero from America.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he actually ends up being in Japan for a bit.
What?
No. Sorry.
That would be cool.
They compare him to All Might in that series, don't they?
I think so.
Yeah,
but he's not, like, quite on the same level.
Yeah, no, he's not like All Might level, but they compare him to All Might with, like, his likability. Well, cool.
I really want, like, a Black Panther reference. Just because, like, especially for Chadwick, especially because he passed away recently. Like, I need it so badly.
Give me my Chadwick transfer student.
Yes! I need it badly.
All I'll say is that Horikoshi is for the culture, because when Kobe Bryant passed away, he drew this image of Deku, and Deku was wearing, I believe he was wearing some of Kobe Bryant's sneakers, I believe, if I'm correct. But yeah, I'm all for that, Horikoshi. So if you're listening to this, you know, keep going for the culture, man.
Yes, it would be very cool. Is there any other thoughts for the chapter as we are going to jump? We actually are finally going to get to our emails.
I mean, I'm good to go.
Yeah, it's another fire chapter. You know, I'm glad Horikoshi's taking a break because, you know, you deserve it, my dude. Just finish the year off strong.
Yes, and take breaks. Breaks is good. Like, just rest up. Because, like, the art is so good that, like, I don't know. Also, drawing flames is hard, I can imagine. Rest up, dude, because it's going to be, like, a firefight. Okay, do you think, is ice, like, effective against fire? Because I guess, like, if ice would just melt.
Yeah, ice would just melt.
Yeah. But then it turns into water and you douse the flame.
Where's the water hose guy? Like, why isn't he there? Like, we haven't seen this dude since, like, the first arc when he was trying to put the flames out when the sludge monster was doing something. Like, why haven't we seen this guy?
Last week I was saying it should be him instead of Vestinus, and it would have been fire hoses. That would have been more helpful.
Oh, I just remember something I wanted to bring up real quick.
Yes.
So, okay. So you know how in My Villain Academia, that arc, we had some people kind of upgrade their quirks. So like, we had Toga being like, oh, if I love somebody enough, I can use their quirk. Shigaraki being able to just dust everything in a certain area. You know, things like that. Okay, so, hear me out. So, Dobby, his hair started turning white when he was younger. Could he also have half hot, half cold? However, it's an upgraded version from Shoto's. So instead of like the regular, like, so you know how he has like blue flames and all that? What if it's like a blue flame, but like a more like sheer cold aspect of it?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's interesting. That actually makes a lot of sense. it could happen. Could happen.
I kind of really, I really want that idea of, like, kind of quirks changing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it kind of was brought up, like, Alma was talking about how quirks, like, you could think that you got water from, like, your body, but it turns out you actually got water from the air or something. Yeah. So, like, kind of realizing truths about realizing stuff about your quirks. So I really want that for, like, someone. Mm-hmm. I guess that might be already Deku's quirk, because you realize it's not just strength, it's stores, it's the quirks.
Yeah. Because that's the thing we're getting here. So, like, with the students, they're able to refine their quirks and come up with, like, ultimate moves, more precise, attacks for everything. Whereas the villains... Go ahead.
They're leveling up.
Yeah, they're leveling up, so to say, exactly. But, like, with the villains, they're not in this school environment, so they have to do everything in their own way. So they're getting their level up a different way.
Mm.
See, yeah,
we got that for Toga as well,
Big old galaxy brain going on right here.
Well, no, I had mentioned that, like, a few weeks ago, where I was saying, like, when everybody, like, they're literally leveling up and getting, like, these secondary abilities and whatnot, like when Toga was able to unlock the ability to use other people's quirks. Now, I know she won't be able to use Midoriya's because it's something that only he can use, but, other people, she can use Cammy's quirk if she wanted to, or I can't remember who else.
She could, though, or I think, because remember, Monoma, he tried to use Deku's quirk and he couldn't because he didn't have the background. Like, it was just empty. It was because he has to have stockpile. But I wonder if Toga copied, I almost called him twice, copied Deku, would it be blank? Or would it be,
I would say it would be blank because, like, One for All is a very tricky quirk to even talk about, in that kind of aspect. So, like, to be able to copy that, it'd be very hard to do that because it's also a quirk that is only able to be passed down if the user wants to. Plus, the quirk, as we've learned, has chosen Deku as their vestige, which, when that was revealed in that chapter, I'm sorry, that made me automatically put Heroes Rising as a in-canon movie. Yeah. Because now, hey, look, there's a reason that the quirk went back to Deku at the end of it, which, spoilers for that movie, but I mean, honestly, go watch Heroes Rising.
It's on DVD, really I have it. Watch it.
And Netflix.
Yes. I guess I'm trying to think, this is kind of off topic, but people whose quirks hurt them when they use it. So far we have Toya, Dabi, actually the same person, Deku, and Aoyama. So it's just kind of like, cause Deku was hurt by his cause he wasn't born with it.
Yeah.
And also cause it's like kind of overpowering his body. So I wonder, is that the case for Toya? Like, I wonder if maybe cause the doctor, like, might have taken Deku's quirk or something, or he was working with children. And, like, he's also working with, like, old folks' homes, and also, like, he was doing, like, so much shit that he had a lot of exposure to taking or giving quirks.
I mean, that's the case with all quirks, because, I mean, they are, like, they've been, at least from what I remember, they've been told to us that they're a physical ability. So it's just like, when we went to the summer training camp in the forest, everyone was working their butts off, physically to make their physical quirks, because, they're a physical part of their body, to enhance them like a muscle. So I think a lot of quirks, like, we don't hear this from, like, Bakugo, for example, who has explosions. Well, that wouldn't really, we don't know if that hurts him too much, because most of it is, his nitroglycerin sweat. So we don't know if that, like, stings his skin, or if his skin, like, evolved enough to, like, endure that pain, So that's just something, you could think about more with all that. But.
I think it would, like, when Bakugo fought Kirishima and he tried to make it like a battle of attrition.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I think Bakugo even mentioned, or maybe someone was watching, like, kind of that it does affect him a little bit, but he, like, trains. So, like, who knows? I don't know. I'm just like, I'm suspicious of Toya. I'm suspicious of the Doctor. I think the Doctor's behind everything. Except for Toya. Except for
Doc needs to just go away.
Yeah, I hate him. Like, legitimately, whenever, like, I was like, punch him again. So that was very satisfying.
No, Dr. Eggman needs to go back to Sonic.
Yeah, just like, go away. But are we ready to go into some emails?
Oh, yes.
Hey, the first one is actually a more recent one from Twitter, from Kevin Dwayne. I apologize, you did not correct me if I mispronounced your name, so please tell me if I'm mispronouncing your name. But he says, "Good day, MHA Pod. Chapter 291 is fire!" No pun intended.
Literally.
This is a really good chapter from seeing Endeavor happy with his kid. I mean, he was really disappointed that Toya was not the kid of his dreams. He still sort of tried to be a good dad. I can't wait to hear your opinions on this chapter. That's the interesting thing, is that, like, he was disappointed in Toya, but then he also was still, like, I'm gonna make him a hero, and kind of, like, imagine him, like, crossing that bridge to All Might, which is cool imagery. And then for his question, if DC, Marvel, and Shueisha approach us to do an MHA Pro Hero and DC Marvel superhero crossover, what crossover will you write about? I would love to see a Nightwing Midnight crossover, because why not? Because of the butts. I hope that's it. Also, a Spider-Man Koichi, I'm cheating here, crossover is good too. Spider-Man and Zero, sorry. But that's all for me, and stay awesome, everyone. But that's also good, like, because he can, like, climb, like, momentum, cling to walls.
Right.
True. Okay, does anybody want to take it?
Who wants to crossover? That's a good question. This might be a very weird one. I want to say maybe Iron Man and Hasumi.
Ooh.
Just because.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, just because the fact that, like, they're both, like, geniuses and creating stuff for the heroes to use and using it so effectively. So it's weird, but I would like to see that. Just like the minds coming together.
Mm-hmm. I would say maybe Cyclops and Aoyama, and they can bond over having, like, laser things. I guess Cyclops isn't it, like, not lasers? I don't know. They can bond over that.
We're talking crossovers like, people meeting each other, or like crossover like character wise.
Yeah, like Batman and Daredevil working together. Or Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Honestly, like, ooh. You know, get back to me on this. I'm
really trying to think.
Like, yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be, like, similar powers, really. Anything. I really like,
I don't know why this one's coming to mind. Maybe because I've just been playing the game a lot lately. But Deku and Miles Morales.
Ooh.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Like, because they're both roughly the same age. And I mean, Deku with Black Whip, obviously, but like, just both of them kind of like talking about, you know, just getting their powers, because they were both, at least from what I've been exposed to, you know, Spider-Verse and Miles Morales game and all that, like, they both got their powers roughly around the same age. So, like, they have something relatable with that, where, like, they're both learning to use their powers, and they both have that, figurehead where, you know, in All Might and Peter Parker. So they could kind of bond with that, I guess, and, you know, kind of maybe learn and get off of each other with all that. I don't know, that's the one that's just kind of sticking to me right now, but the other one would be, and this is because this is why I asked, like, what do we mean by, like, crossover? Because, like, I was thinking, who would be, you know, a fun, like, crossover power kind of thing, and when I thought of that, I was just like, oh my god, what if Bakugo had the Hulk's power with everything? And I'm just like, oh no, destruction everywhere.
He's always angry.
Yeah, exactly. He would never turn back into Bakugo. He would just be the Hulk.
Yeah. That'd be really cool. I'm trying to think.
I have my answer now. If you want to, you can go ahead and go, but I have my answer now.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I have two. I got a easy one, And then I have a really, really good one.
Mm-hmm.
So the easy one that I would love to see would be Ida and Barry Allen. Like, I think that would be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
They can race.
Because they're both fast and whatnot. And if you guys watch the Flash TV show, like, he always starts the episode off with saying, "My name is Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive." But then he meets Ida, and it's like Ida is possibly faster than him, and then, you know, they have to work together to stop somebody. I don't know who they'll stop, and then, like, at the end of the episode, they'll have a race. But the really cool one is back in the 80s, there was a cartoon called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And on this cartoon, Spider-Man was teamed up with Firestar and Iceman. So how I would want the episode to be is Firestar and Iceman, they would have to go do something with the X-Men, and Spider-Man wouldn't have them because they had to go on this little adventure. So they recommend to him a new student that just came to the X Academy from, like, he's a foreign exchange student, and it's Shoto. And because Shoto has fire powers and ice powers, he makes the perfect team up because he has both of their powers. And then you just have Spider-Man and Todoroki working together, and I think that would be really cool.
I guess the crossover I would like is Teen Titans, just because it's kind of like a group of teens and them kind of like working together, and just kind of interesting to think of like Robin like having like Batman being his like idol, but also kind of like trying to distance himself from him. I guess it's more like when he becomes Nightwing, and kind of like what Deku might learn from that. And also, I just like Beast Boy, so Beast Boy can hang out with Kirishima. Like, Beast Boy's the best.
He can hang out with the Baku gang.
Yeah, I feel like they would get along.
They would.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Yeah.
So, would Koda be able to control Beast Boy?
Ooh. Maybe.
You know what?
Well, I guess, can Beast Boy talk to other animals?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? Just to spite, yes, he can control Beast Boy, and
Yeah.
he will force him to turn into any animal he wants.
They could be friends. They could like team up.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Give me my Beast Boy.
Yes, they could ride into battle. But we have another email. This one is from Black Northwind saying, "Hello, MHA Pod. Just a thought. How funny would it be if La Brava hacks Dabi's recorded speech to show a gentle video nationwide? I really wanted this to happen. This was sent last week. So, that would be awesome. Because it would have been like a good like tonal break as well.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that it would be crazy because everybody would be like, "Yo, what the hell is going on?" And then Dabi would be pissed because this is supposed to be his big reveal and all eyes are on TV. And then you just have a Gentle Criminal video. And now everybody's just like, "Yo, who's this Gentle Criminal?" And now Gentle Criminal is famous again.
Yeah, and Stain as well. Like, it is interesting that it keeps being like videos are kind of like spreading the message, being like used like powerfully. It's really cool. And now we have a bit of a longer email. And it says, "Hello, Posh Spice and Fangirl." Posh Spice being Sophie, unfortunately. Unfortunately because she hasn't been able to be on because of stuff. Saying, "Great show as always. My name is Joe. I'm really new to the My Hero world. Started watching the anime halfway through season 4. Yes, I'm caught up with everything. And started reading the manga after the end of season 4, which was issue 193 or so. And have got up to the events at the end of volume 25 or issue 246. Thank you for reading your read-throughs because I feel there's so much happening in the panels. I tend to miss a lot. It helps that you break them down. Plus, being an older person, it's rare to find folks that want to talk about this stuff, so yay you. So now, random thoughts and comments. It's an All Might keychain that Deku gave Uraraka. Yeah, I called it a stuffy. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. Traitor Theory. I'm inclined to believe that the traitor doesn't know that they're the traitor. One of the students telling their parents we're going to camp, and the parents selling that information. My argument to that would be, like, the parent would need to put, like, a tracker on the kid. Because the problem is that the kids don't know where they were going. They kept it a secret. Or one of the teachers telling an evil friend the most benign of information. That could be interesting. If, like, maybe Kurogiri was, like, spying on Eraserhead, would be fucked up. And the EF, I don't know what that means.
Evil friend.
Evil friend using the evil search engine Google, Detner at Sub-Theory to find the rest of the story. Okay. And 4, wouldn't it have been cool if way back in one of the 270 issues where Mina Ashido was trying to get the sedative into Jangata Machia and froze when she heard his voice remembering their past meeting, Kirishima showed up and pushed his one true love, future wife, and mother of his children out of the way. If he had just gotten swallowed up by Machia, seemingly sacrificing himself, only to end up just red rioting his way out of his giant stomach in the next issue. These are the things fanfics are made of. I think I've read this before, and I was like, wait, did they just want to kill off Kirishima? But no. Honestly, Kirishima, like, busting his way out, or just, like, going out the poop hole. But it would
I'd rather him busting through the stomach and not the poop hole.
So, yes, that would have been cool. And also, yay for Kirishima and Ashido shipping. It's a good ship.
Yes, I agree.
Yes. Yeah. And then, way back at the end of the second episode of the anime, the dub said, "This is a story of how I became the world's greatest hero," but the sub says, "This is how I became the greatest hero." Which has always made me think that Deku does not become the number one hero, but is considered the greatest hero because he died saving the world. Again, random thoughts. Or I guess, do you guys think Deku might die? Or like,
no.
what do you...
No. I'm not, you're not even gonna put that out there in the world.
Yeah, I guess that is interesting as the greatest hero, but I wonder, I think maybe people suggested maybe he's the last hero or something. I like the idea. I think Jay has suggested that he becomes a hero, or no, that like it's all the students kind of becoming the world's greatest hero.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking maybe it's kind of him like kind of bringing heroes back to like what they should be.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Like I think this kind of ties into the whole like end of the Japan Hero Society as we know it. Like, there's not going to be a new number one because there's not going to be a Build War chart because that's just going to be redundant now because the villains have won, you know? So it's going to be like, you know, Deku's going to become the greatest hero. Not because he's number one, because that system is just going to be gone now.
And also, we just, like, I guess we also know for heroes that they have, like, there's a request system, they can request to work with other people. And so there's, like, a lot of questions about it that we don't really get, like, because also Race Ride was going around, like, someone's, like, purse got stolen.
Right.
And I don't think we also got that with Hawks as well.
Yeah, so, you know what's crazy? Yeah. Something that I was just thinking about because of what Wayne was saying about, like, the hero thing being eliminated is, I can't recall, or I might not remember, Deku ever saying that he wanted to be the number one hero. I know Bakugo always brings that up all the time, that he wants to be the number one hero, and he wants to be greater than All Might and whatnot, but, you know, I can't say that I've ever heard Deku say, I don't even remember. Go ahead.
Yeah. All Might's been pushing him, because All Might was like, you need to be the new symbol of peace. Because that's what he was doing at the sports festival, being like, you need to make, he wasn't like pressuring him, but he kind of was, but it was kind of just like, I don't know, it was like kind of like, and Deku was kind of having trouble with it a little bit.
But Deku has never said that he wanted to be the number one hero. Deku just always wanted to be a hero. He just wanted to have work, and he always wanted to help people. It goes back to the whole, you know, Heroes Rising thing, where it's like Deku just wants to save people to win. You know, that's all he wants. He just wants to be a hero. But, you know, even when, Bakugo saves the girl in the movie, like he says, he's just like, I'm going to be the number one hero. I'm going to be better than All Might. Like, it seems like that's what Bakugo's goal is just to be the number one hero. And at the end of the day, you don't need to be the number one hero to be the best. It's kind of just like with wrestling. Like, there's so many wrestlers who that are household names, and it's like they were never, I want to use WWE, for example, they were never WWE champion, but they're household names. Like, people know who these people are, they love these people, and like, they were never the top people in the promotion. So, I just think that Deku is just gonna be like the greatest hero ever, and, Bakugo is just gonna be number one. He's gonna be Vegeta, and Deku's gonna be Goku.
And that kind of ties into Bakugo's whole mindset, because like his idea of winning is being number one. Because when you're number one, you are the winner. There's nobody better than you at number one. But what he's learning through that is there's more than just being number one. You know, like that's where we're getting this whole like reverse parallel kind of thing with him and Deku. Like at first they were all about, you know, Deku was all about saving people, and you know, no matter what happens to me, I'm gonna save people. I'm gonna be the greatest hero. And where's that getting him? Broken bones every single, you know, battle he's in. Barely can, you know, stand up or, you know, be able to save people. Like that's why he was so fixated on the whole Eri thing during the overhaul arc. And then you have Bakugo, who's so fixated on winning, he doesn't know how to save people or like be that hero that people need. So then, like, when they have their second fight, it's like this reversal that we see in the manga now, where Deku's starting to focus more on winning, and Bakugo's focusing more on saving. And we even get that, like, a few chapters back, where Bakugo literally, like, gave himself to get Deku out of the way, because he's just like, you are too focused on winning. You need to get out of here. I am saving everybody. You do this, you do that. Shoto, do this. Endeavor, you follow up and do this. Like,
Endeavor, you save them. Because that's like... And also, going back to Stain, when Stain pointed out that Ida wasn't, like, first you save him, pointing at, like, native hero or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off, but going back to when they were trying to get their licenses, and that was one of the reasons why Bakugo failed the exam, because he wasn't really focused on saving people for real. You know what I'm saying? He was just trying to do his own thing, and the people that he did save, he was being a jerk to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like heroes aren't supposed to act this way when it comes to saving people. It's like you're supposed to make me feel safe, and you're supposed to make me feel comfortable and calm me down for whatever the situation is. But when you're sitting here yelling and screaming at me and calling me stupid and whatnot, it's like, what type of hero are you? Like, that's the reason why, you know, back then when I first started watching the series, I thought that it was possible that Bakugo could become a villain. And like, that's the reason why the League kidnapped him early on, just because of his attitude. But I do love the character development that Bakugo has had over the course of the series. I mean, even like in the chapters, a little while ago where Bakugo and All Might were having that discussion about Deku and, you know, his development and everything. It's like you see the growth that Bakugo has had. And then, like Wayne just said, when he sacrificed himself to save Deku, like the old Bakugo would never do anything like that. You know? So.
Yeah. And just kind of like, there's different kinds of heroes, too. Like, Ochako kind of wanted to be more of a rescue hero, and then kind of being like, wait, I want to save heroes. So kind of that might have to be a bit more, like, action-y. Well, she already did that with, like, going... Who did she go with? Forearms? No, that was Kirishima. Gunhead, you're right. Yeah. Kind of Gunhead martial arts.
Yep.
So, and so that just makes me... It's interesting that, so maybe the world's greatest hero is, like... Is there someone else who's really good at something else? I don't know. But we have next question. Not question, more of a statement saying, stop saying Shiggy. I'm very guilty. Going forward, you must lower your voice a couple of octaves and say, whenever his name is mentioned, Tomura Shigaraki. It might hurt my vocal cords to do that, but maybe I will if I remember.
Just sound clip my voice here. Tomura Shigaraki.
Every time.
Just play that every single time.
And then, finally, I'm going to call you out on your blatant Minatism. Minatism? Don't get me wrong. Yes. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's a silly word. Don't get me wrong, the vast majority of what Mineta says is reprehensible. But some of the lines, if said by a different character, you'd be fine with it. For example, when Mineta met Eri, he said, wow, you're gonna be a real looker in 10 years. Ew, gross, awful. But if Kirishima said, hey, Eri's here. Wow, you're gonna be really beautiful in 10 years. Aw, isn't that sweet? He's the best. That's Minetism. You're a Minetis. It has to stop.
And that's that's because Mineta is a creep.
Yeah, and also, Kirishima wouldn't say it. Because it's a weird, he would say, oh, you look cute. Yeah. Or he would say whatever he said because he'd like, oh, I don't know. No. Also, there is Codaism on this podcast. We haven't talked about Mineta.
One person. I don't know, but...
It's like, Mineta! I am curious I think I've heard, Joanna, like, what are your thoughts on Mineta? On the spot. You know what?
He's a creep. He's a creep. No, he's
yeah.
a creep. Like, when I first reading about him, I'm just like, this man's a creep. Like, you can't say these things to people.
Yeah.
You just laugh if you say these things. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought, like, with his quirk, I kind of thought it was kind of a useless character.
Nah.
Like, oh, yeah, that's what I thought at first. Because, you know, he pops once and hits them, so I'm like, oh, that's so dumb. But then it's like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's actually not too bad because you can stop a lot of people with that quirk, so it's like, maybe not as bad. But he's still a creep, though. Like, the Menanism, that's me, because he's a creep to the end, for me.
Yeah. Oh, Wayne, what are your thoughts on Mineta?
Look, here's the thing. Mineta's a creep because of what he looks like. He's a little gremlin who is very horny. But Banks, I don't know if you can speak for this as well, but when you're at that age, you do think things, you know. But some of us don't act on it, you know. We're not gonna go to some drawer and be like, oh yeah, you know, like no, that's a little.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's definitely creepy, but it's like I like Mineta, but at the same time, I don't like him. But I really love him though because he reminds me of a younger version of Master Roshi. Yep. That's the reason why I love him because on Dragon, it's like Roshi on Dragon Ball Z is tame. On Dragon Ball, because there are a lot of people that have never watched Dragon Ball, like Master Roshi is a fool on Dragon Ball. Like the stuff that he does, it's like I know people get mad at Mineta, but this dude Master Roshi, he took a watch and he shrunk down to go in the bathroom and watch Bulma use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, while I don't like the stuff that Mineta does, some other stuff like the creepy stuff, like where he told Eri, you know, I can't wait to see what you'll look like when you're 18. That was too far.
Yeah.
That was too far. And honestly too, I don't, correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I don't think that he said that in the manga. I think that was the only something that he said in the anime. He did say it?
Yep.
Yeah. He said something similar.
Okay, well yeah, I mean it's just creepy. And you know, about the Coda statement, like I have been waiting for somebody to call me out on the Coda thing. Cause I'm pretty sure that there's a listener who listens every week and is just like, yeah, that Benjamin Banks is really grinding my gears. Like, I love him. If I ever meet him, listen, I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind and I'm gonna knock him out for disrespect. But,
they're gonna hit you with a spine buster and put you in a...
Yeah, hey, look, if you want to step into the ring with professional wrestler Benjamin Banks, let's do it. Let's set up a match. If you can beat me, I never say anything bad about Coda again. But if I beat you, then you have to join my army, the army that hates Coda.
Okay, let's go, Banks. I'll just throw something at you and run.
Yeah, it'll be a no DQ match. So you know.
No, you can't say that now. You can't say that now. She's gonna get disqualified.
Last man standing. Let's go.
Honestly, Mineta, I actually I would find it interesting because the parts of the cowardice aspect, kind of wanting to be popular, I think is really interesting. Kind of a different aspect of being a hero. But then and also he is just a teenager, so he his perviness is kind of him just saying aloud what should probably just stay in his head, as well as and just kind of being a gag character. But you combine that with the fact that he doesn't really get to do much in the series, plus he's wearing a diaper and he's a gremlin. But also he's just kind of a one joke character, and now it's kind of has stopped, and that's why we haven't talked about Mineta doing that stuff that much because it's largely stopped. It's not as much of a focus anymore. It's getting toned down. And that makes me, happier about Mineta, because he, gets to be a character and not just be the pervy guy who's just why are you speaking? It isn't, I get it. It's your joke. You can stop it now.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, Mineta's gonna be a wonderful hero. He's gonna He's gonna own the finest strip club in town, and he's gonna be, and he's gonna be married to Momo, the girl of his dreams.
That's what I think it's gonna happen too. I think that because Momo is his enemy right now, and I do believe that he is gonna get with her. And also another thing too, I understand that people don't like how Mineta is, but you gotta remember this. My Hero Academia is a Japanese creation, and in Japan, like, that's how they are over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they see that stuff, and they don't find it cringy. They find it funny, but in other parts of the world, like, we're just like, oh, that's too much. They need to tone it down. Look, they're not gonna listen to you. Horikoshi is not gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna tone Mineta down, because us over here in Japan, we love this shit. So either...
He has toned it down, though.
No, but you get what I mean. Like, it's like, because of right down.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bigger threat going on right now. But I'm sure once they get back into the school setting and whatnot, then you're gonna get your Mineta doing his creepy, pervy stuff again.
Yeah, he'll be looking into the locker rooms again, and Jiro will be upset that she wasn't noticed, and we'll be back to normal.
You know, that's the illness too.
Dies. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. He just bores me. But I guess you're right. Like, in Japanese, I think Suba's saying, like, they find it funny or it's just kind of like gag. But not like I don't know. Japan isn't a monolith either. And just like, also, like, just like kind of the Western audience isn't either. So, I don't know. I will not stop picking on Mineta. I do think he's interesting. I like him more in the dub a little bit because the lisp makes me like,
yes.
it actually makes me realize like more like he is a teenager and makes him feel more harmless. A little bit, which isn't, I apologize to people with lisps, because it's just, I don't know. But, and they said, sorry if that was way too long, no, it's fine. Looking forward to the next show. Kirimina forever, it's a good ship. Yay!
Yay.
And that finishes off. We had sorry for Mineta lovers or haters. Oh well. But let's round it out then. Let's go, you're new to us, Wayne. Where can we find you?
Oh, well, I have a Twitter it's at Whawkins MW. And then there's a good old YouTube channel called World Champion Whawkins, where you can find all your wonderful, reviews of, so my weekly series are My Hero Academia and One Piece. I do live reactions to Attack on Titan manga every single month. And every so often you might see a little arc review where I talk about like an arc from some anime that I'm rewatching. So right now I'm kind of going through Naruto Shippuden and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ooh!
So,
is it your first time watching Yu Yu Hakusho?
No, this is actually my third time. And fun fact, this is actually the time where it's hitting me that this show is a masterpiece. So
yay!
I've also changed up my format a little bit, so I'm actually doing it with a friend of mine, so we're kind of talking about that series together now. But yeah, I kind of changed the format a little bit on those, but again, that channel is called World Champion Whawkins, and I'm also going to be, stay tuned, and you'll hear about my Twitch channel that I'll be restarting soon.
Nice. So I can say you are a streamer. And, I'm gonna just say, the hard-hitting question, who's your favorite character in Yu Yu Hakusho?
Oh, cool, Bara.
Thank you, good! If
Hands
it was
down.
anyone else, I would have been like, no.
Hands down. He's my boy. He's my boy.
And, Joanna does not have a Twitter, but do you have any shows or books that you want to plug? Or, like, that you've been reading or that you like? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
right.
I've been rewatching the Neon Evangelion. Love. And I heard that there's going to be a movie. They make a movie next year about it, so I'm excited about that. That's what I am watching right now.
I think it's Rebuild 4 or something. Like, I haven't watched
something like that.
Yeah.
I think I thought it's the fourth one. I have to double check, but I think there's repeat of the fourth one. But I'm excited for that because that's one of my favorite animes of all time.
Nice. And since I asked Wayne, who's your favorite character in Evangelion? Just for the hell of it.
What? Oh.
I'm not asking Wayne, I'm asking...
Sorry.
That is my favorite character. This is a tricky one. I'm gonna give it... I'm gonna... I don't know, For some strange reason, I like Asuka, even though she's a brat. I think she's like the biggest brat ever, but I really like her.
Nice.
I think she would be my favorite person.
She's very cool. Banks, where can we find you?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook by typing in Benjamin Banks. And I should be the first person that pops up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. And you can listen to my podcast, Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, where we talk about a bunch of stuff in nerd culture. And right now, we are about to enter our Christmas theme month, where we're going to be doing Christmas episodes and whatnot. And our first Christmas episode is going to be on this horrible anime called Neo Yokio, because they had a Christmas special. And
I'm sorry, I like that show. I have to. I like that show so much. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, because we did mention that on the episode that there were people that did like the anime, but there are a lot of people who did not like it. So if you did like it, that's cool, and you should check out the episode, because we didn't trash it that much, because we did, give somebody that much. But it really is a bad episode, and me, I'm always a positive person, so it's like if somebody like me says that something is trash, then it's a trash show. That's all. But yeah, you can find my podcast at Leveling Up Banks on all social media platforms, and that's it. Yeah.
Nice. And for me, Kendra, you can follow me on Twitter at Sniper of My Heart, and I am also on another podcast about Haikyuu. It's at Haikyuu Pod, The View from the Top. That's not part of the handle, it's just an alternate name for it because it sounds cool. And for the podcast, if you're a new listener or just haven't gotten around to it, you can follow us on Twitter at MHAPod, email us at myheropod@gmail.com, and you can visit our website at www.mhapod.com. Send us some emails, let us know, is Best Genus to fraud? Is Dobby wearing a wig? I don't know. Pick your poison for what you want to ask us, or send us some questions. I don't know. And also, I plug the Ochre Project. I will still plug that, but I think definitely right now the Philippines is struggling thanks to, again, I think I got hit by like 2 hurricanes. So I would say look into maybe donating to the Philippine Red Cross, as well as we were retweeting some links of stuff that you could donate to, because like the Filipino coin is like a lot lower than the American coin, so you can like donate a little bit, and it actually is a lot. It helps out a lot, which is kind of cool. So do so if you can. And can anyone think, Wayne, so what we do is I say a phrase, and then we go, and then I say go beyond, and we all yell plus ultra.
Word.
So I'm trying to think of a good segue.
I got one.
Ooh, let's hear it.
I think I got a good one. So just gotta continue to push the agenda. Read Vigilantes.
Go beyond! For a second, I was like, is Hank so loud we can't hear him? And I was gonna do You Are Not the Father, or You Are the Father.
Oh no.
This is My Hero Academy, Plus Ultra. Manga, anime, news and more, Plus Ultra.